You didn't pay very well one time, even though you paid. So when the system now will bring out your performance, instead of scoring you AA, the system can score you just A or B. What are the implications of the score? The score is used to determine the next amount of loan. Because maybe you take 300,000. Because you scored AA, the system can say, this customer can now be entitled to 500,000, and so on and so forth. So it is important that we're trying to make repayment when it is due to be repaid for our own credit history and for our businesses to continue to grow. But as a bank, wearing a human face, we have said that we will not charge you any penalty if you pay within a few days, maybe within a week. Then to your last question, can you be paying in bits? Yes, absolutely, you can. You can be building up your account. In fact, we're encouraging our customers. We're not a finance house, we're a bank. We're a bank. We don't expect you, when we give you a loan, to just take all the loan and walk away. And when you want to repay, you just come and drop money there. No, we want you, as you make sales, you lodge it into our account. You transfer from our account to your customers. You transfer from our account to the places where you want to buy business. We want you to use that account, your own account. It is your own account. The other banks you carry the money to, they've not recognized you as good enough to take a loan. So we have recognized you as good enough to take a loan. So why don't you do that business with us? And by the time we're able to generate, and all of us are doing business with the bank, making savings with the bank, withdrawing with the bank, it will also help us to be able to further reduce the interest we are charging. Now, this is what is happening at the moment. When I want to give you money to do your business, I have to go to the bank, the Citibank, I have to go to the Eco Bank, I have to go to the Zenith Bank that you are keeping money with. My money that you have taken it to them. Then I have to go to them to borrow money. So instead of you leaving the money to bring down my cost, I have to take it at a high cost. And that is why the cost of lending at Microfinance Bank is still very high. Together we can bring it down. If you run your turnover with us, if you do your businesses with us, and we've been around for 14 years, at least today, by the special grace of God, we have met the capitalization of CBN. That CBN is saying that it should be 2022. We have met it since last year, and we're very grateful to God for that. We are a very strong bank. We choose to be a microfinance bank because we want to operate like that, but we are bigger than some banks. So yes, madam, you can pay in installment, but more importantly, use your account regularly and leave balances in your account so that when your loan is matured, they can take a bit of it, and you can have separate account from your loan account that is separate from your business account that you're running to the business. Madam, I hope I've answered your question.
Okay, thank you, MD. So I'll take some questions from the chat box very quickly. This is from Esther Odagboyi. Good morning. Please, I have an issue. My shop got burnt and nothing from you yet now, and I'm asked to start making payments again. I'm not happy at all. I think that's a comment.
Thank you very much, Madam Esther. Let me first commiserate with you on your shops getting burnt. And I pray that affliction will not rise up again. Now, when your shop got burnt, the process to take is clearly known to your account officer. And this is what we do. We will take all those details and give to our insurance company. And the insurance company will come back and say, this is the process. So if you have done all that, then the process should be ongoing. And the insurance company, you can also send a mail to info@accionmfb.com. The insurance company will respond to you. But it is important, I tell everyone here, some of the problems we've had and the insurance companies have had, we insure all our loans. All your loans, we insure it against fire. We do not pray for it to happen, but it does happen, just like it happened in the case of Madam Esther. But there are requirements that we should know. You cannot have a shop that is burnt, and then insurance company will go there, and you are reporting it a week after it is burnt, and we have started renovating the shop. And by the time they get there, they cannot see where the shop is burnt. They cannot see items that are burnt in the shop. It has been swept away. It has been cleaned. It's difficult for an insurance company. And I'm not saying that is the case, Madam Esther, but I'm just using it as a learning point. It is difficult for such an insurance company to pay the claim. It is important that even if you are there, it is important to take pictures or even take videos as the thing is happening. If you are not there, as long as you get information about it, before you enter, just take pictures. As you're going inside, take pictures of everything. Take pictures of everything. Even if people are trying to douse the fire, I know you will be very overwhelmed, but you can just say, Chinedu, please, let me to be taking this picture as we are doing this thing, because you know that money must come back to you. And we always do our best as an organization to ensure that money comes back to you. Then if it is properly documented and your shop is totally burnt, we won't be saying come and repay. So I need to find out what exactly has happened, Madam Esther. But please send a mail to that email address. And if you can put your phone number and email on the chat box, someone who is senior will take down the phone number and email from our commercial team and call you immediately after this meeting that we are having, after this forum that we are having, to get more details and facts from you. But please, when anything happens, it is your duty to report to your account officer or branch or the nearest branch closest to you while it is happening, while it is fresh, not days after, because it will become very difficult to prove to the insurance company that those things happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MD. So we just want to take another question. We have interactions in the chat box. A lot of people actually asking what moratorium means and all that. But there's one of our senior management staff, Simon Ademilola. He has raised his hand and he would like to make a comment. So I'll go ahead and unmute him very quickly, and then we'll take more interaction.
Hello.
Hi, Simon, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. So I'll just go ahead. I just wanted to make 2 points in addition to what Taiwo had said earlier, and that is speaking specifically to our plans for onboarding customers on Jumia and on the other issue of USSD. And I'll just speak to them in a minute or two maximum. So for Jumia, I just wanted to say that while anybody can wake up today and take his goods to Jumia, there is an opportunity of actually deciding to work with us. So as a customer of ours, when we're taking you to that platform, and we're only using Jumia in these early days as a first example, there are a few others we're already speaking to, and we're at different levels of conclusion with. So what are the benefits of working with us to go to those platforms? You have the opportunity of better commissions. You have some opportunity of some level of free advertising and positioning of your goods if you work with us. You have the opportunity of training and hand-holding. Then you get our loan. So a special loan designed for those of you who are going to that platform. And then the opportunity, as I said, of also being introduced to other portals through us. So that is part of the roadmap of what we have in mind. Quickly on USSD, you notice the MD mentioned the different banks that you actually can reach us on and send money to your Accion account through on USSD. So I just wanted to quickly mention, someone mentioned the pain points recently, and that was, he was using, I think it was GTB, and from GTB USSD, he wanted to actually send money to his Accion account, but he had a challenge. When we looked at it closely, we understood that GTB as a bank decided that there will be a certain limit on the volume of money you can send at a time. So all I want to say is, for each of those banks we've mentioned, Zenith, First Bank, GTB, and the others where we have USSD live today, any challenge you have in sending money to your Accion Microfinance bank account, kindly contact either the branch or the account officer that manages the relationship. They'll just tell you what could be wrong. So this one I mentioned is only one example of a scenario we understood. So the bank set a limit, I think it was 40,000, and the person was trying to move 50,000. So in those kind of scenarios, it might be advisable to break it and send it in tranches. So try to get more information from that bank in terms of their relationship person on the limit, so that any issues you have. If you also do have issues continually, do let us know, and we'll step in to be of help. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Simon. I think Simon said it very well. Let me explain. Someone says, what does moratorium mean? Let's leave the big English, because moratorium, I think that is one word that has been spoken like almost 1,000 times during this pandemic. Moratorium simply means postponement of payments. Postponement of payments. It's an English word, and that is what it means. That is the definition. You are postponing the payment dates. So when CBN says give moratorium to people, it means postpone the dates they have to pay because there's a lockdown. Now, moratorium or postponement of payment can be in two different ways. You can postpone payments on the principal amount and ask customers to continue to pay interest. Or you can postpone payments on both principal and interest. When central bank does not give you the authority to postpone payments as a microfinance bank, you cannot do it on your own, because they will tell you that our customer has defaulted and the customer should be treated like a defaulter. But when central bank gives you the authority, the legal authority to allow a customer to postpone his payments, that postponement of payments serves two purposes. It will not affect the customer's rating, and the customer will continue to do business. Let me give an example with 100,000 naira. If you're supposed to be paying 10,000 monthly on 100,000 naira, and you've just taken the loan, and they said postpone the payments of the 100,000 by 3 months from January. That means the customer is supposed to pay in January, is supposed to pay in February, is supposed to pay in March, 10,000 for those 3 months. And they said postpone it till April. That means you have given that customer 90 days or 3 months moratorium. Then what the customer is entitled to pay, if the postponement is only on the principal, is the interest. So assume the customer interest rate is 4%. That means in January, the customer will only pay 4,000 naira and will not pay 10,000 naira principal. In February, the customer will only pay 4,000 naira. he will not pay the 10,000 naira principal. In April, the customer will only pay 4,000 naira. I will not pay the 10,000. So, I mean, in March. So it is in April that the customer will now start paying both the principal and interest. But where you have postponements of payments on both principal and interest, and the customer is supposed to pay January, February, March, that means the customer will not make any payments in January, it will not make any payments in February, it will not make any payments in March. But the interest for January, which is 4,000, the interest on February, which is 4,000, and the interest on April, which is 4,000, is 12,000. That has to be paid when the customer resumes repayment of its loan. That is what moratorium is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, MD. My name is Mrs. Fanny Yoluwatoyin, a customer living with disability who resides in Ikorodu. My complaints are, my account was inflated and I did not stop my repayments even during the COVID-19 period. 2, what are the process for taking another loan even after repaying previous ones and as a trusted customer? 3, I made part payment on the due date of the loan. Sorry, excuse me, I made part payment on the due date. Okay, sorry, just trying to get it. Okay, on the due date of the loan, and my account officer told me to pay the repayment for the next month. Now insurance paid me since March, but I haven't gotten back the money. So I'm not sure the question is really well said. Mrs. Fanny, can you raise your hand, please, so we can unmute you? So maybe you can ask the question.
No, I'm aware of Mrs. Fanny's case. We spoke 2 days ago, and she told me, and then our Mr. Stephen, who is the chief risk officer, has spoken to her directly, and we're trying to resolve the problem. Well, we first need to establish that there's a problem, because when I was in Kano, a customer called and said that he's asked to pay 80,000, that he has paid the money into his account. And then by the time we went into the customer's account in Kano, we realized that on a particular day we drew 50,000, on another day we drew 30,000. So the 80,000, he has withdrawn it for some other purpose. And when we confronted the customer with the fact, he actually has forgotten that he has withdrawn those money. Now, so we are not saying that is the case with Mrs. Toyin. And Mrs. Toyin is one of our very fantastic customers. We're very proud of you. And we're committed to resolving your problem. We're very committed to giving equal opportunity. And your story is always an inspiration that with your disability, you have grown your business. You can be rest assured that if there are any issues, it will be resolved this week. What are your needs for if you want to take another loan? Once this is resolved this week, your new loan will be processed. You don't have a problem taking a new loan. But we need to agree with you on the status of your account. And I'm sure we will both agree, because nothing will be hidden, everything will be transparent. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MD. Gentlemen and women, for us to ensure that all the complaints are effectively resolved, please, after you drop the complaint in the chat box, kindly include your name and maybe your branch and your phone number. So even if we can't take all the questions, we can take them out of this session and still channel to the appropriate department and resolve it. So we have some hands up. Shani Iyabo, I would go ahead and unmute Iyabo right now.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, madam.
My name is Yabo Shabi. I'm from Bariga branch. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear
Yes.
you.
My complaint is concerning the moratorium. During the lockdown, you know, there was a time you removed the initial deposit from the account to pay up.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir? Okay.
Yes,
so,
we're hearing
so
you.
my account officer told me that I had to balance up the payment. So which I did. So they now called me that I should pay up, because I told them categorically that I don't want any moratorium. Sorry. So they now told me that I should pay up with the May, April, May, June, July, before the end of July, which I did. But to my surprise, I discovered that even at that, they took money from my account for the moratorium. So I want to know the reason why it's being taken, and they told me that they are going to reverse it, which they have not yet done. One, two. Secondly, you told us that we can make use of the account as our own bank. This thing, I discovered that on 2 occasions that I took a loan, and I decided to leave the money there so that I can be disposing it, you know, from time to time. I don't want to transfer it to my other account. But after 2 or 3 days, I discovered that they started taking money, you know, charging me for not taking the money. They started charging me for not withdrawing the money from the account. So I would really like to know why that is happening. Then I want to know what you people can do for the interest to be, you know, you told us now that you are going to give us a discount, that somebody that is taking 5%, that you are going to give us a 4% interest. We thank you, we appreciate you, but I just want to know more so that you can explain more concerning the money they withdrew from my account. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Shabi Iyabo. I think maybe you missed out when I started. Okay, because when I started, I said some customers who were given moratorium, because CBN said we should give customers moratorium, said, thank you, Accion, but I have capacity to repay, but I don't want moratorium. But because we have already booked the moratorium, there was an interest charged for the moratorium on their accounts. And this interest affected about 1,500 customers. And about 1,300 has been reversed, leaving just about 200. I wouldn't know whether, because even as at yesterday, reversals were done. I want to know when you checked your account last, because it might have been reversed. A few people who came, who did not check, realized that their credit has come back to their accounts, but maybe for reason of network, they didn't get alert. Or some people are not on alert. But when they check with the account officer, it says, oh yes. But we know there are still 200. It is possible that you are part of the 200 that will be tidied up before Friday. But everybody's money will be reversed. Everybody's money will be reversed, and we're doing it. So once you have fulfilled that option, it will be reversed. That's number one. Number two is, I think your second question borders on taking a loan. Okay, so if, for example, you took a loan of 200,000 and you have been given a loan of 200,000 and the loan is sitting in your account, if you use just 20,000 out of it, now a loan is different from overdraft. If you use 20,000 out of it, that money is still your money. You can use it. But the interest charge that will come And you don't get charges every day. I need to clarify the kind of charges that will come on your account, because the kind of charges that will come are strictly the charges that are on your offer letter. If you have been charged outside what we don't hide, we don't charge outside what we should charge. If you have been charged outside what is stated on your offer letter to be charged, then please let us know. But if you take 200,000, for example, or 2 million interest rate, you will be charged with 2 million. If you open a savings account, which a lot of our customers now have, no charges can go into your savings account because you are doing business with us. The normal transaction cost that will go into your account is also equally the normal transaction cost that you pay to the bank when you use their services. If you have been charged differently or in a way that contradicts the offer letter that you have been given, please take a snapshot and send it to that email that we have shown you. We will show the email again before we close today and register the complaint. Now, there's a bit of a challenge for me to answer affirmatively or to give exact position if a customer says, this is what has been done to my account. And you'll appreciate that, because as I'm seated now, I cannot see your account. It's not like you're lying, but there may be explanation for what has happened, that if we take time to explain, you will now understand and say, oh, it is true. So until we see those details in your account, and we're able to come back to you and say, this is what happened, we're sorry, we're reversing this, or this is what happened, the charges in your account are genuine charges, I'll only be able to tell you that please don't wait for customer forum to send forth your issues. Call this number, send a mail to this number you are saying now, please write it down and say, this is the complaint that I have, and you will be attended to immediately. Email info@accionmfb.com. Now, on the interest discounts, it is open to all our customers. So if you repay the loan that you're repaying now, you can go back to your branch and say, your MD said, if I repay my loan, and we're running it till December 31st this year. From December 31st, we'll determine what we'll do next year. Let me also say that. So you can go back and say, I have repaid my loan. I want to take another loan. Your MD says you will reduce the interest because this is the palliative. If your account officer says they should know, but if they claim ignorance, request to speak with the branch manager. You can walk into our branches, ask to speak with the branch manager or any senior person or a senior account officer, and those issues will be resolved. So yes, we stand by our word. You are going to get an interest rate rebate. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. I have a question from Comfort Ogunlusi. Thank you, Sir MD. God bless you for the good work. I'm a customer of the bank for 3 years and I've been fulfilling my obligation. Last month, I requested for SMA for 3 million for clearing my goods. This I was by my account officer, and he told me it is possible, only to be told I can only have 2.5 at the day of disbursement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good morning.
And so if I think I explained earlier that most of these decisions are actually taken not by human, but by the system, because they will have checked your capacity, they will have seen what you have done in the past, and that will determine what you can do or the amount you can withdraw. I'm sure if you take that 2.5 and you repay it as you should repay it, by now you should be on 3 million or 3.5 million. because it is a system. There are so many, I don't want to bore you with details, but there are so many things that that has been put into the system to determine your capacity, to determine how much you can repay based on your turnover. And that is why when we want to give you a loan, we'll give you a loan based on your statement of account with Accion and your statement of account with other banks. Now, if we take it and put it in the system looks at the total turnover you've done with the different banks, including Accion, and looks at times if you have loans with other places, it will look at the loans with other places, and the system simply put will say, in order not to put this customer under too much pressure to repay, what this customer has capacity for at the moment is 2.5. And that is why we came up with that approval, that what you can take. It's not that we're happy to reduce the amount. It's what the system says, because we would be happy even if you can take 4 million. The more you take, the better for us. But we're also under obligation to look at those analysis that have been done behind the scene that nobody is seeing, and that is now recommending an amount. And it will not be proper to abuse that process. So please just bear with us. I'm sure your next loan will be higher, and you will grow with us. I expect to see you take 10 million, 20 million very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It'd really be helpful if you could also add your phone numbers or your name and your brand so we can contact you after the session. From Titilayo Tokwe, good morning. My name is Amo Titilayo Tokwe. I am from Ibadan. I was asked to register for POS, and since then there's no positive answer on the processing for the POS. So
okay, I'll ask Simon, who is also who spoke earlier, to respond on the issue of POS. Simon,
hold on, let me unmute you, please. Go ahead.
All right. The question didn't come out so clearly. I just heard POS and processing. Can it come again?
She wants a POS and she's dropped all the documentation, but she hasn't done anything from the bank since then.
Okay, I'll be glad to know her details, but maybe I could actually just share here that if she writes to agent banking support at accionmfb.com, agent banking support, any information that you have as regards
Simon, could you
agency
please drop
business?
that in the chat box?
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So she can pick it up from there.
Okay, I'll do that shortly. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I have Abia Chuku's hand up, so I'll go ahead and unmute him to ask his question. Sir Chuku, can you hear us?
I'll allow Anajo to get on his red, and then Razak is also on this call. But yes, audits, control, risk, they are all involved.
Hello?
From the very beginning up until
can you hear us?
Tests and everything.
Hey, look today.
Simon,
Hello,
you need
Chuku,
to
can you hear
mute.
us? Simon, can we have you on mute, please? Thank you. So we have Doro Waye, who has also raised, and we would go ahead on mute. I think we lost the other customer. Can you hear us, please?
Yes, good morning, House.
Good morning, madam.
Family of Accion Bank, I say good morning. Thank you so very much, Mr. Taiwo Joda, for your enlightenment. On the free interest moratorium thing, I said thank you so very much. No free interest, sorry, but it can be paid when it is convenient before the loan expires, I think. And then I want to I want to say something about the bullying, which Ms. Bosse said earlier on, the first speaker. I think this is really, really very bad. and it's becoming and unbecoming of them. A day or a day after, they start calling to bully you. I remember this COVID period. I took the loan in May this year, and the day I was supposed to pay, I was bereaved. And a lady called from my bank branch, and she was shouting. Even when I said, "Please hold on," she said, "I called you. Please don't just talk. Let me finish. Let me talk. I called you." I'm a lady of 56 years old, and I'm sure she's in her 30s, telling me to keep quiet. And even when she finished, I said, "Can I speak?" And she just cut off the phone. I called repeatedly. She did not pick. Thank God for my account officer. The guy was just cool and calm, and he was just praying that, "Mommy, please, just calm down. I know who you are." And he came here, he saw that I was bereaved. So I just said, these are the things people do, and they say they see somebody jumping into the river. I mean, it's just too much. They bully a lot, a day or a day after. They shout on you as if you are their house help. It is not good enough. The third one is the insurance thing. Are you saying we are being insured under your bank? And then the last one, I want to ask, how can I be one of your agents? Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorowaye. I want to join sympathizers and sincerely from Accion family, we want to extend our sympathy on the deaths, on your bereavement. We'll pray that affliction will not rise up again in Jesus' name. We'll pray that the Holy Spirit will comfort you. We've taken your complaints about bullying. I can assure you, we will definitely take decisive steps. And two things we will do. We will train and retrain our staff. It's surprising to me that it is actually your account officer that seems to have a better emotional intelligence than a supervisor at this instance. And we'll look into it. And a lot of our senior colleagues in the branches and area managers are listening on this conversation. They've also joined and they're taking notes. And you will see improvements. We apologize for that. Yes, it will be great to have you as our agent. We're going to roll out we're finalizing the details, and we will communicate those details to you as soon as we tidy it up. We've just finished the pilot, and it's very interesting. I can tell you and assure you, madam, that there's a lot of opportunity in it. So definitely we will put it on our website. We will also let all account officers. What I will ask and request that you do, is that tell your account officer that immediately the modalities is out, that your account officer should get in touch with you immediately. I think there's another one that I missed out on, a third one. Fisaya, can you help me? Or have I answered all the questions?
No, you've answered all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. So, Mr. Abiachuku, I would try again to unmute you. Mr. Abia, can you hear us now? Hello?
Hello?
We still cannot hear you. Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
We can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
Hello? My
Chukwudi Franklin, we're really struggling to hear you. I think the net might be poor. We're really struggling to hear you. We are really struggling to hear you. Could you just maybe drop your comment or your question in the group chat, please? Thank you. Okay. So I will just take maybe a few questions from the chat box. If you're dropping your questions in the chat box, kindly include your name, phone number, or your branch so we can follow up after the meeting. Good morning, sir. I'm a guarantor of one of your clients. I heard about this and I said I'll be part of this. The name of your client, I guarantee, is Mrs. Ioma Justin, who died in the month of May. I reported to the account officer and provided all the necessary documents she asked from me for the insurance company. I got information that your insurance company paid and the money was on moratorium and start payment by July. Now I'm getting different message from tax force. Please explain.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm
getting different tax from.
I think it's the recovery team that he's referring to.
Okay.
Okay. I think. Okay, that reminds me of the previous question that I said I missed out on. And that's a question that, are you saying we insure? Yes, we have insurance and we insure all loans. Part of what you pay is the insurance premium, and it is insured against fire. It is also insured against debts of the owner of the business. So it covers fire, it covers debt, it covers burglary, armed robbery attack, if it can be proven. And we have several insurance companies that covers it, because we know that when such loss occur, it may be difficult to bounce back. So our dear guarantor, I am a bit unclear about the story here. It's unfortunate that we lost a customer, but if those things have been provided for us, then we cannot collect money. We will not collect money and put for a demised customer in a moratorium. What is put on moratorium is customers' loan, not customers' repayment. Customers' repayment or insurance repayment cannot be put on moratorium. So I'm a bit unclear about that. Maybe there is a miscommunication. Please, I would like you to drop your details on the chat box. Our commercial team will pick it up and talk to you after this session. Please, there's something wrong about whatever communication you felt you must have received. A repayment from an insurance company can never be put on moratorium. It will be applied immediately and directly to the repayment of the loan. So please, we'd like to have a discussion with you. Kindly drop your name and contact number on the chat box, and just say, with respect to the deceased customer and insurance payment, so that one of our teams will quickly pick it and will call you after this customer forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. A comment from Isaiah. Good morning. My name is Unwite Isaiah, white investment customer from Abeokuta. I want to appreciate you in advance for the SME training you're about to start. Again, the condition for obtaining the SME loan is strict, and that makes it difficult for customers to go through. I think that's a comment. So I would go ahead and unmute Fanny Oluwatoyin raised her hand. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Please.
Hello, but I think we already took your questions.
I am Mrs. Oluwatoyin Fanny. Hello.
I can hear you, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Fanny.
I want to ask. I want to ask about that thing that Oga asked, that do they include handicap for the agents?
Mrs. Fanny, your business, the business you are doing, some people who have legs and hands cannot do. I've been to your shop, I've seen what you are doing. So you are always an inspiration, and it is equal opportunity. There is no restriction to who can do it. If you are interested, you will be considered, ma. God bless you, ma.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye,
Okay,
sir.
can we mute Mrs. Fanny, please? Thank you. Thank you. The agency team, can we have the details again? We have questions about how to join in the chat box so that the customers can just send their emails to that. We have more questions for moratorium. I think we've taken already. Elijah's hand is up. I would go ahead and unmute Elijah. Elijah? Hello? Can you hear us? Okay. Okudili Onwara has indicated interest to speak. Go ahead and unmute. Hello, Mr. Okudili, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Branch President. I've been with the Accion for more than 10 years. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So I've been with Accion for over 10 years. I am happy with the staffs you have at BBA. They are good, especially my account officer currently, in the name of Victoria. They are doing great. I approve her for her encouragement and the other thing. But what I have to ask is this moratorium, that is postponement of payment. I took a little loan before the lockdown and I deal on stationery. But what I am seeing there, immediately I took the loan and then we went for lockdown. Me to pay for that month that I did not use the money at all. What will you people do? Because if you can compile the months and say we should pay it, it's a good to pay in order to meet up on a month, not to talk of other months. That's number one. Number two, you people's app for transaction doesn't generate receipts via WhatsApp or Bluetooth. For example, if you transfer money to a customer, to generate a receipt to send to that customer as an evidence. Another thing I want to say is that your network has to be sustainable. We are experiencing bad network. Sometimes we won't have a network throughout the day for any transaction. And the last three, but not the least, is this. Why Accion took money from our savings account to pay our loan when loan is due, we could not be able to meet up on that payment. Why are they jumping into our savings account or any other account we have and then collect the money and pay without giving us the other notice or allowing that money to be paid? Because we, personally to me, I leave money on the savings account in order that that money will be there for me to save for another purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Okudile Odora. You've asked very, very good questions, and you've also given some suggestions. I'll try my best to respond to them. So the question you raised about the generation of receipts for transactions, the normal kind of receipt you get on payment when you use your USSD is the alert you get on your phone. And you can make that alert. Now, where receipts are to be generated is when we move into our mobile money platform, and then receipts can be generated. However, if you use our NIP to transfer money and you ask for the receipt will be sent to you immediately by your account officer. That generates receipts. But USSD across the world, the alert you get on your phone is the evidence that a transaction has been consummated. Now, there are times when alert does not come in, which I agree. And when you talk about network, the issue of network is a very thorny issue. And we're discussing with the mobile telephone operators. You know, if I give you a solution, what I mean by a solution is if I give you a USSD or an NIP or a mobile money, they are going to be using a telephone operators. It's either you're an MTN subscriber or you're an Airtel subscriber or you are a Globe customer, or you're just on one. And when you do that and you make the transaction, it is really not the bank that is responsible sometimes for those transaction failures, especially when the issue is not that the bank is unavailable. It's just like for the last 2 weeks, and I think some people would bear me witness, when I'm making call, before you speak for 2 minutes, the line will just cut off. Network has been very terrible. And also because network has challenges for mobile telephone operators, it also affects the quality of our service. And we do apologize for that. What we're doing is working with the MTOs to even see whether they can sign an agreement with us that if our customers complain, then they're going to pay compensation or they're going to do something because it is affecting our own goodwill towards our customers. And we're also trying to see how we can improve on those networks by, in some branches now, we have almost 2 or 3 network providers so that if one is down, one can be used. So we're a bit limited in what we can do, but we will always work to ensure that we work with the best network provider to provide those services for you. On the taking the loan and not using the money, I'm not very clear what you mean. Maybe you took a loan, you use it to buy goods, but there's a lockdown immediately after you bought the goods. Then there's a bit of an issue. Okay, so I can imagine you doing stationery business and then all schools are shut down and stationery is slow. Yes, you have an issue with your business. And I agree. There are lots of myriads of issues with a lot of customers who are into one business or the other. You can reach out to your branch manager or any of our commercial team to discuss further your business. And wherever we can come in to assist, we will let you know. But if the situation is that you got the loan and the loan is in your account, and before you use the loan from your account, there is lockdown and you are unable to use the loan, and you have sent back to us that I can't use this loan now, please take it back and I'll use it at a later date, or I will reapply for it, and we're charging you interest and deducting, then I think that will be proper. So I would like to know exactly what was the issue with the word you use, because the word you use is I did not use the money. So I would like to know what was really the issue. What do you mean by I did not use the money? Then on the issue of brighter commitment, the use of brighter commitment to pay down loan. Let me put it in perspective, sir. So you have an account with me. In that account you have with me, you have 50,000 naira sitting in that account. Then you are owing 60,000 naira and you have not paid. Now, your concern is at a point, and this is usually after 1 month of not paying. At a point, why do we have to use your brighter commitment or savings to pay down? Now, the other side of the argument is this, sir. If I leave the 50,000 and I don't, and you did not pay the 60,000, and I continue to charge interest on the 60,000, if the case goes to court, or CBN Consumer Protection writes the bank, the CBN Consumer Protection will say, Accion, but you are wicked. This person has 50,000. He's only used 60,000, and you continue to charge interest on 60,000. When the man has 50,000 with you, why can't you use the 50,000 to reduce the amount of 60,000 to 10,000 so that the burden will be less on him? That is the way they will relate to the bank, because every bank has a right of set-off. Even if I go to court, the judge is going to say the same thing, that Abba, this person, you know there's problem, you know there's pandemic. This person is owing you 500,000, and in his account he has 300,000. Why don't you use that 300,000 to reduce the 500,000 to 200,000, so that the interest rate will be only on 200,000 and not 500,000, and the customer will not. So in some of these things, at times, when we try to act in the best, we try to do it in the best, with the best intention to the customer, because we also look at it and said, we must do what is fair. We must do what is right with our customer. That's the number one thing about the regulation, about what the law will have said to us. The number two thing is that we will rather allow you to have a good credit score with us by using that money, because it is your money. It is your money. By using that money to pay down, and so that when you want to take another loan, your credit score will be good, than to keep that money and allow you to go into reject or into D. And when you want to take another loan, the system will now be saying, we should give you less than what you had before. And I think it's just fair if someone has money. And we encourage our account officers to please tell the customer that immediately things get back to normal, they can refund the money. Why do you have savings? You have savings to guide against the rainy day. So if it is now, it is not even raining. There is thunderstorm and thunder. So what do you want to do? I'm sure if we have not done that for another customer, the customer will have come to this forum and said, why are you charging me interest when I have money with you? So it's like striking a balance and to do what is fair to the customer. That's why we took those actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. So that's actually all the time we have. We would go ahead now and run the second poll. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. If we're not able to take your questions or your suggestions, please put them in the chat box with your name and your branch, and if possible, your phone number, so that we can take the conversation offline and reach out to you. Thank you very much. So I'd like to also encourage us to go ahead and share our email addresses with our account officers, so that our contact details in the system is updated, so that we can also reach you via email. I see some of us dropping our email addresses here, and we don't have your email addresses on the platform. So please share with your account officers so that they can update it in your contacts that we have with us here. By the end of the month, we'll be having a webinar. Like the MD mentioned, we're coming up with different initiatives to support us to move our product and our business online. So we'll be having various webinars. The upcoming webinar will be focusing on digital initiatives. So we're going to be talking about digital products and the partnerships that we're going into that are going to help us to serve you better and better position your business. If you're not following us on social media, please follow us for quick information and updates on activities regarding your bank. Our handles are at Accion MfB. We are live on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. If you have complaints, just send us a DM. It's really important that you follow us because we send quick information there, so it's easier for you to get those information for time. Thank you very much. Can we the poll questions, answer the poll questions so that we can go ahead and close? I have my CCO online, Mr. Adefisayo. He would be taking the closing remarks. But before we do that, after we take the closing remark, before we close, we would actually request that you please switch on your videos so that we can take a group picture, a virtual picture anyway, because if you're doing this physically, we would all take a group picture. But since we're virtual, you can just, after the CCO takes his closing remark, please switch on your video. I hope you're all camera ready anyway. Switch on your videos, and then we will take a virtual group photograph, and we'll post it on our social media handles. So please follow us, retweet the pictures, you can retag us. In addition to that, we're currently running a campaign online on our social media platforms, and it is targeted at getting your stories. So let us know how Accion MfB, like the MD said, we've been here for 14 years, and we've been able to impact lives and change lives as well. So please share the story with us. We would love to hear your stories. We were gathering the stories, and we would sometimes come ahead and visit you. Some of the rewards for sharing the stories are a phone call from the MD or a visit from one of the management staff. So please share your stories with us. Just put it on your page or send it to us via DM, and you can also tag us as well so we can pick it up from there. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. The poll is still up there, so please just pick the most appropriate answer. Thank you very much. And don't forget to turn on your video so we can take a group picture after the closing remark by the CCO. If you still require any additional support or clarification, you can reach us on social media. The handles have been dropped in the chat box, and also our Accion support contact center group. The contact details has also been dropped in the chat box, but we'll also put the flyer up once we're done. Thank you very much. Mr. Adefisayo, are you online? Mr. Onoa, CCO, can you hear us? Okay, while we wait for the CCO, I think maybe technical difficulties to connect. Can we please take the poll questions? And I see a lot of us actually getting ready to take the virtual picture, so that's really exciting. Okay, I can see the CCO online. Can you go ahead and unmute him, please? Great. CCO, we can hear you now.
All right, thank you very much, Adefisayo. Our very dear distinguished customers, good day. My name is Adefisayo Akinsanya, the Chief Financial Officer of the bank. I want to very specially thank you for making out time from your very crowded programs to join this session. This clearly demonstrates the love and commitment you have for the Accion brand. We really appreciate. Like the MD said, this is a very important session for us to feel your pulse, to know how we are serving you and to get your feedbacks on how we can serve you better. We're also very happy and proud that we have customers who are digital ready and who we can communicate with virtually. Please keep it up. I want to assure you that all the feedbacks we have gotten from you today, we're going to take back and use to review our future processes and of course, service delivery to you. I am going to personally reach most of us that have brought up issues. Madam Esther, the issue of your insurance, the issue of the bonds and insurance issues, I'm going to make sure I step in and speak with you to resolve it. Madam Iyabo, the issue of your charges on unused disbursements, all the customers that have called, including the last one, Honora, I hope you have kept all your details. If I don't reach you very quickly, know that maybe I've not seen your details. You can also reach me through the support center, contact center, or through your branches. I want to assure you that we appreciate you all. And like the MD said, you don't need to wait for when we call this for this session again. Feel free to reach us. We are a listening bank and we'll get back to you to have your issues resolved. We're going to come back to you very shortly in a few days from now to intimate you about the SME training for our customers to help you take your business to the next level. Once more, I want to thank you. We really appreciate you. And I say, when we call you again, please join. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you very much, Cecile. So I hope you're all ready for our virtual group pictures. So I'll just count down to 10 and then we'll take the pictures. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Please switch on your camera if you want to be part of the picture. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Did we all smile? All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow us on our social media handles at Accion MfB. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on LinkedIn. We have a webinar coming up shortly by the end of the month. So we'll drop information there on how you can join us and be part of the session. If you still have any questions or clarifications that you need, please drop it in the group chat with your name, your phone number, and your location, your branch, so it's easier for us to trace you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out to join us. God bless you. Have a wonderful day and best wishes.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright. Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Access Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card. No need to stress, I don't need this stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make you life better. With shaking the money, you fit open accounts. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get a loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Now the code Accion, star 572 hash. Money go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to wahala. Partners on top your phone, wherever you are, whatever you do, they pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank we go phone. Piano star 572 ash.
When you learn how to look at your food, I can Accion Bank dina.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Access Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card. No need to stress, I don't need this stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make you life better. With shaking the money, you fit open accounts. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get a loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Now the code Accion, star 572 hash. Money go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to wahala. Partners on top your phone, wherever you are, whatever you do, they pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank we go phone. Piano star 572 ash.
When you learn how to look at your food, I can Accion Bank dina.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Access Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card. No need to stress, I don't need this stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make you life better. better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get a loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Now the code Accion, star 572 hash. On the go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here be the code. I know get to a holla. Oh, it's a life. Oh, money on the go. Star 572 hash. Oh, get a life. Oh, my future is bright. Star 572 hash. Send money to family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your
Jirini
phone.
Accion Bank we kugo kunu. Piano star 572 ash.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 hash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Ní tòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karbar kudin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai kara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank nwekwara ni ATM card.
No need to stress, I don't need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make your life better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get a loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Now the code Accion, star 572 hash. On the go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to a holla. Oh, it's a life. Oh, money on the go. Star 572 hash. Oh, get a life. Oh, my future is bright. Star 572 hash. Send money to family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your
Jirini
phone.
Accion Bank we kugo kunu. Piano star 572 ash.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 hash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Ní tòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karbar kudin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai kara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank nwekwara ni ATM card.
No need to stress, I don't need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make your life better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get a loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh.
Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Accion *572 hash. Now the code Accion *572 hash. Honey go. Open account with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, *572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to wahala. Oh, it's a life. Oh, money on me go. *572 hash. Oh, get a life. Oh, my future is bright. *572 hash. Send money to family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, they pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank Piano star 572 hash.
Maṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ *572 hash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank nwere na ATM card. No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make your life better. With checking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get the loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. It's bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Accion *572 hash. Now the code Accion *572 hash. Honey go. Open account with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, *572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to wahala. Oh, it's a life. Oh, money on me go. *572 hash. Oh, get a life. Oh, my future is bright. *572 hash. Send money to family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, they pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank Piano star 572 hash.
Maṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ *572 hash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank nwere na ATM card. No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make your life better. With checking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get the loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. It's bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Accion *572 hash. Now the code Accion *572 hash. Honey go. Open account with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, *572 hash. Now here we go. I know get family and friends, and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank Piano star 572 ash.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáùntì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karbar kudin Accion banki na yi amfani kai kara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card. No need to stress, I don't need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make it life better. With shaking the money, you fit open accounts. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get it on to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Nani code, Accion, star 572 hash. Honey, go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to a family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank Piano star 572 ash.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáùntì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karbar kudin Accion banki na yi amfani kai kara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card. No need to stress, I don't need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make it life better. With shaking the money, you fit open accounts. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get it on to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. Is bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, star 572 hash. Nani code, Accion, star 572 hash. Honey, go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, star 572 hash. Now here we go. I know get to a family and friends and business partners on top your phone. Wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank Piano star 572 ash.
Allah ka tura mu kudi akan Accion Bank dina.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ *572# lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Ní tòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card.
No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make it life better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get the loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. It's bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Hey, Accion, *572#. Now the code Accion, *572#. Honey, go. Open accounts with Accion to save for tomorrow. There's an easy way to bank every day. Hey, *572#. Now here we go. I know get wahala. Partners on top your phone, wherever you are, whatever you do, hey, pay your bills and recharge your phone.
Accion Bank we go kun piano *572#.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ *572# lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Ní tòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank will put on the ATM card.
No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I tell with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make it life better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit